Traveling with the Commandant is no walk in the park. When the Coast Guard Channel team met him in Arizona to spend a few days with him, we seriously didn't know what we were in for. This 4-part series will give you insight into what it's like to travel with Commandant of the Coast Guard, Admiral Thad Allen, as he visits units in Texas. At the same time, you'll get the chance to join us as we talk with him one-on-one about the Coast Guard. Are you ready to get an in-depth look at life as a Commandant? Well, here we go. In the first leg of our trip, we met Admiral Allen at the airport in Phoenix, Arizona. He had just wrapped a meeting with General Dynamics and was headed south to an all-hands in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Well, since I'm out in the area, I had a couple of different things that were going on. I'm trying to connect them all because what I like to do when I travel is get as much synergy and efficiency out of the trips as I can. I had a long scheduled meeting with the CEO of General Dynamics in Scottsdale. I have a required speaking engagement in Houston on Thursday, so in between I'm going to visit the South Texas Coast Guard units.
But before we can get into the meat of our adventure, there's one thing you might be asking yourself. What's it like to fly in CG-01? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it's awesome. It's the only way to fly. The seats were comfortable, the crew was amazingly hospitable, and best of all, no security checkpoints, no chance of lost luggage, and your car meets you at the plane. Since we always managed to get stuck with the last gate at the airport, both coming and going, this was really nice. But alas, the fantasy would only last a couple of days. So, where were we? Oh yes, Arizona.
I was out in Scottsdale, Arizona to meet with the Chief Executive Officer, Nick Chabraya of General Dynamics. They own a manufacturing plant that is making the equipment for Rescue 21, which is our new VHF-FM stress and calling system. We've been under production for a couple of years now, and I meet once a year with the CEO to go over the progress, get a program brief, and just discuss any matters that are of concern. When we first started the program, it was a little bit of a challenge for us and them. I don't think we realized that we really weren't buying radios, we were buying a huge software application with radios attached to it. Actually, we're rolling one out every few weeks now. This is a terrific system. It automatically tracks a signal, gives us a line of bearing. We can discriminate whether or not it's a true distress call or a hoax signal. We do get a lot of those, and it's been instrumental in saving a lot of lives since we started bringing it online. It's really made our people happy out there because it takes a lot of the search out of search and rescue.
General Dynamics and their Rescue 21 system has really improved the Coast Guard's level of response. This was definitely on the mind of the Commandant as we discussed with him his State of the Coast Guard address.
I was trying to create parallels between the rapid change in technology, demands on the service, and the reaction at that time was to create the Coast Guard. And the demands, I think, right now require us to recreate the Coast Guard. I think what's changing around us right now, first of all, is the tremendous networked, information ubiquitous society that we live in, if you will. The implications for the Coast Guard, for our mission set. Of course, we're operating in a transnational threat environment. Post 9/11, post Katrina, post Cold War. A lot of challenges, a lot of new ways of thinking and acting are going to be required of us. And it calls for a fundamental rethinking of how the Coast Guard is structured, which is what we're doing. Well, the entire history of the Coast Guard since 1790 has been one of added duties, accretion of responsibilities, mergers with other activities. So those types of changes aren't really anything new for us. What is kind of dramatic right now and what is happening is nobody is ordering us to do this. We're not doing this with a budget gun to our head, and many times we've had to react because of scarce resources to change how we do things. I'm proposing that we do this because we know we need to do it. We know there are changes that we have tried to do over the last 20 or 30 years that for one reason or another we haven't completed. We need to be about the business of trying to create a 21st century Coast Guard for 21st century threats. Change-centric is the word that I'm using. We need to be more adaptable, more flexible. We need to be able to sense our environment and actually sense changes in demand signal for our missions. We've got to be much more sensitive to change and be able to adapt to that. Otherwise, what you do is you create all these different forces for change that accumulate over years, and then you have a dramatic shift as what we're doing now. I would hope that based on what I'm doing, I create a kind of Coast Guard where 10 years from now, a Commandant won't have to come in and say, we haven't attended these X number of things for 10 years, so we have to do it all at once.
As we touched down at Air Station Corpus Christi, We were all kind of awestruck at how down-to-earth Admiral Allen was, while at the same time having this amazing command presence. But there was little time to relish this once-in-a-lifetime experience, because soon as we were on the ground, it was go, 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 or we would have been left in the dust as the Commandant headed to his hotel.
Well, contrary to popular wisdom, I do sleep at night. Although some of my people think I do it hanging upside down in a closet or something.
We'll have more of this fascinating interview in the next episode of Traveling with the Commandant, as we join him to meet the crew of the Air Station and Sector Corpus Christi. See you then.